The most important thing, though, that I think people get wrong and why they don't have success with celestial Danios is that they keep... Hey guys, welcome back to the Aquarium Library with Andrew. Today we're going to be talking about celestial Danios, a beautiful fish that goes by many different names, but a fish that is remarkable nonetheless, and a fish you guys are probably interested in keeping or learning more about as you guys are checking out this video. So if this video is informative or helpful in any way, I'd ask you guys like the video and consider subscribing to the channel, maybe checking some of the other videos I talk about pertaining to celestial Danios throughout the video, and other videos I have on the channel, because I do put out a lot of aquarium videos and aquatics related stuff and post weekly. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned and maybe consider subscribing. So with that, we'll get into celestial Danios and how to take care of them. So pertaining to the pH, I think you probably want to keep them around 6.2 to 7. That's where I've kept them and spawned them at, is in that range right there, and haven't had too many issues with them in that range. I think you could probably go above 7, and if you guys have any experience with keeping them above 7 pH, I'd love to know, as to help better inform myself, as well as those people that are watching this and wanting to know whether or not they could keep celestial Danios in their liquid rock water up in Michigan or down south in Texas or places like that. It would be helpful for me and helpful for them. So it would be greatly appreciated if you guys could contribute some of that information that you guys have that I don't necessarily have. So pertaining to tank size and number of fish in a tank, I think those sort of go hand in hand. So I think the minimum number of fish that you'd want to keep is 6, and the minimum tank that you want to keep them is a 5-gallon tank. And that's actually the number of fish that I keep in a 5-gallon tank for my breeding stuff. If you guys are interested in that, I'll leave that up here. And that is where I keep them and spawn them, and they don't have any issues with that whatsoever. But in terms of keeping them in a normal tank, I would definitely say 10-gallon tank with 6 of them would be perfectly good starting. You can obviously go up as you have more tank space, as you increase your gallons. Like my 27-gallon here, I have 20-ish fish. It's a little hard to catch them if they're all swimming about throughout, but that's what I would put it as, around 20 fish. So as you start increasing your tank size, you can also start increasing the number of celestial Danios that you're keeping. In terms of the tank environment and the number of fish that you can keep, I definitely say that you'd want to try to have a well-planted tank, or a tank that has a lot of decorations or decor or places for them to hide and feel comfortable in. And going along with that, we're not going to forget about that, but you also probably would want to have some dither fish or other fish that are going to be out and about, regardless of whether or not there are issues in the tank. So like I have my Harlequin rasboras that stay out constantly moving, and my threadfin rainbow that also constantly stays out and is moving. And it definitely helps bring the celestial Danios out and make them feel more comfortable. So going back to the type of tank, I found that when my tank was less sparsely planted and had less cover up in the front area, they hid more in the back and didn't necessarily come out and were exploring that other part of the tank. But now that I have more cover out in the front of the tank, they will come out and swim through all those different plants and whatnot. And live plants are a great option, but not the only option. You could also use rocks or fake plants or other decorations or whatnot to provide that space for them to be comfortable in. The most important thing, though, that I think people get wrong and why they don't have success with celestial Danios is that they keep the temperature too high. I think that the recommendation out there that you can go up to 78 degrees is too high. I was keeping mine at 78 degrees and was having lots of issues that I misdiagnosed in my previous videos as a whole slew of different issues. So you guys want to see how I misdiagnosed them and whatnot, check out that video. But I think that the temperature is where a lot of people go wrong with celestial Danios. So I was keeping mine at 78, as I mentioned, and I slowly brought that temperature down, not because of the celestial Danios, but because I was noticing that my water was too warm for the plants that I was keeping, and I wanted to have better plant growth, so I dropped that water temperature down. And when I dropped that water temperature down, all the problems that I mentioned in this video up here went away. All the wasting away, the not eating, the clamp fins, all that type of stuff just went away. All the ones that were sick also recovered pretty darn well and didn't have any issues. And I haven't had any issues for going on 3 months now. So I think keeping them between 72 and 74 is going to be the ideal range. I keep my spawning group at 75, 76, but I don't want to go any higher than that because I feel as though I'm going to start running into that same issue again of them wasting away. So if there's one thing to take from this, I think it is going to be that you want to keep your celestial Danios between 72 74. I really haven't experimented with lower temperatures, as I have other fish in here that like warmer temperatures. So 72 is sort of my happy medium between those two different groups. But for those of you out there, you could potentially also go lower with these fish and not have too many problems with them. You guys that made it to the end of the video, you guys are troopers, and I greatly appreciate it, and you guys are why my channel is able to grow as it has been growing. I just recently hit 500 subscribers, and I'm super excited about that, and excited that I've been able to help so many different people through the comment sections and Instagram and whatnot with their Celestial Pro Danios. So if you guys are still around, I'd ask that you guys like the video, which you guys have probably already done, are probably already subscribers. If you guys aren't, I'd love to have you guys a part of the family, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day. See ya.